show starts in 10,
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I appreciate everybody for
Fight fans, this is the 13th round where we discuss all things boxing that are boxing. And let me be the first to say that it feels so good to be back in my studio at home, live streaming. As you all know, for the past 2 or 3 months, I've been live streaming on the road. So, just been doing a lot of work out of town, in town as well. But the last let me say about 6 weeks, I've probably been to 8 different states. So yeah, just a lot of traveling going on, but it is wonderful to be home. Welcome to the 5th season of the 13th round. This is the first episode of the 5th season. So yeah, we are here. We are glad to be here. And yeah, we can get a round of applause for that. Wonderful, wonderful. We are here for our 5th season. So we got a lot to discuss. We are dedicating this episode to Errol the True Spence, who has decided to hang the gloves up, calling it a career after his bout with Tim Tszyu this last weekend. So, yeah, we got a lot to discuss on this episode of the 13th round. Of course, we're going to talk about this past weekend's fight cards, which included a lot of big names, man, like the likes of Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Tim Tszyu, Errol Spence, Josh Kelly fought this weekend, Hamza Shiraz, Edgar Berlanga, Jaleel Hackett, Richardson Hitchens. It was a busy weekend for the fight community. I do want to say that. So also, we'll be covering the latest and greatest news in boxing, as we always do. What else we got for you today? And I told you this episode is dedicated to Errol Spence, so we will be paying our farewell tribute to Errol Spence and taking a look at his career and discussing some of our favorite Errol Spence moments. We will also pose our question of the day and preview this weekend's big fight between William Zepeda and Lamont Roach. So yeah, before we get into it, how we do it, sit back, relax, and hit the damn like button. All right. So, this past weekend, a lot of big names in boxing action were back in the ring. First and foremost, we'll start with former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. He fought Christian Pranga over in Saudi Arabia. And both AJ and Christian Pranga both came out swinging for the fences. But it was Christian Pranga who hurt AJ early in the fight in the first round. It was a really usual scene as we see Joshua. He's really chinny at times, and he caught an uppercut right on the chin, and we have the footage. Now, Anthony Joshua did get up and beat the count, but he was a little wobbly leg and glassy and glossy eyed for the rest of the first round. And he made it to the bell in the first round, and he came out in the second round guns blazing. And he went on to stop Christian Pringa in the second round. Now, that wasn't the best angle of that knockout, but shit, Anthony Joshua hit Christian Pringa with a two-piece and a biscuit. And before that, you know, he was starting to lay leather on Christian Pringa. And a lot of people were starting to speculate if Christian Pringa at the end of that first round got tipped off by Turkey Al-Sheikh or someone to throw the fight to let AJ recover. You know, that's a lot of hoopla in the news about that, and I just don't believe that Christian Pringa did that. You know, what I saw in the fight was Christian Pringa came out. Now, let me say this. Christian Pringa did release a statement saying that he did not train, I believe, the last 8 days of his training camp, so he was ill and he laid in the bed, so he was gassed out after the first round. But to me, what it looked like was when Joshua hit Christian Pringa with a good shot, well, after that, Christian Pringa was reluctant to even open up and throw punches. He got into his shell and shelled up. You know what I mean? And if you ever boxed before, and you know how that is, if you're fighting somebody with heavy hands, you know, you're reluctant to let your shots go because every time you throw a shot, you are open. So that's what I think happened with Christian Pringa in that second round. I think Anthony Joshua caught him with a good shot, and he just quit throwing damn punches, and Joshua got off on him. You know, simple as that. And for you, anybody who sees anything else in that fight, you know,
you don't know shit about boxing. It's a real deal.
All right. Tyson Fury was also in action this weekend, taking on Marius Wack. And Tyson Fury, at first, I thought he looked like crap. I didn't think Tyson Fury looked good in that fight at all. I thought he looked like really shit, you know? And not Christian Pringa, but Marius Wack, he didn't really come in there to win the fight. It was a glorified sparring session. And I went back and watched it. This fight didn't stream or air on TV, but I was able to get my hands on the footage of the fight. And I'll show you guys a little bit of the fight. And when I first watched it, like I said, I thought Tyson Fury did not look good. But sometimes you fight to the strength of your competition. Tyson Fury did get good rounds in. I think both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury did a good thing. Joshua, you know, he had his will was tested after he went down on the canvas in the first round, and he came back and got the second round knockout. Well, Tyson Fury, he got 7 good rounds in, good quality rounds. And one thing I was impressed by with Tyson Fury was his footwork. So I'll show you guys a little bit of one of these rounds and just watch Tyson Fury's footwork. I thought it looked pretty good. It's not the best, but it was a tune-up fight. So check out Tyson Fury's footwork.
Come on, Tyson!
Yeah. Not so bad. You see him switching from southpaw to orthodox, from orthodox to southpaw. We've seen Fury do that before, nothing new. But he didn't look as bad as I thought when I went back and watched it for a second time. To say he was getting a tune-up fight, that fight with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, man, it's wide open. At first I was thinking AJ is gonna, after watching those fights, I said AJ is gonna demolish Tyson Fury, but now that I'm reconsidering it, man, I think Tyson Fury has a good chance to possibly hurt AJ and stop him, man, and vice versa. We'll see what version of each fighter comes into the ring later on this year when they do fight. So looking forward to that. Also in action this past weekend, we had Edgar Berlanga taking on Stephen Butler. Now, this was actually a really good fight. Berlanga is always in good fights. No matter who he fights, it's close. You know what I mean? Other than the Canelo fight, but he fought a tough fight in the Canelo fight. And he was in for another tough fight Saturday night against Stephen Butler. And just like Anthony Joshua, Edgar Berlanga touched the canvas in a brutal way.
That is working.
And just like all the great Puerto Rican fighters of the past, Edgar Berlanga got up and got busy with Stephen Butler and eventually knocked Stephen Butler out, I believe, in round number 7, and it was brutal. Now, why Berlanga always got to be doing the most, man? With everything he does, he got to do the most. He stood over the man, act like at him, act like he was gonna punch him across his shit 2 times. I mean, you done knocked him out, dude. Collect the check, celebrate, enjoy your win, man. But after the fight, Edgar Berlanga went on to say that he is looking for a rematch with Hamza Shiraz or a fight with Jaime Munguia. I think both of those fights are wonderful fights. The rematch with Hamza Shiraz, when he first said it, I was like, hell no. But Hamza Shiraz was in action also Saturday, and Hamza Shiraz looked like sheer ass. I mean, that fight was horrible, to watch. He was in there with Simon Zackenbacher, and Simon Zackenbacher had nothing for Hamza Shiraz. About to start calling him sheer ass the way he fought. And Hamza Shiraz didn't have anything for him. It was almost like they talking about Christian Pringa and Anthony Joshua had an agreement. It was almost like Simon Zackenbacher and Hamza Shiraz had an agreement to go to the scorecards, man, because nobody pressed the issue in that fight. Now, I know Simon Zackenbacher, he's a southpaw fighter, and southpaws, those lefties give everybody trouble. But I had Hamza Shiraz on another level. I actually thought he could possibly beat Canelo Alvarez. After that performance that I saw Saturday, maybe he couldn't get up for the big fight. You know what I mean? Maybe that was the case. I'm not sure. But let me let you guys see how that decision played out.
14 to 114, even a draw. Judge Valerio Mosca scores it 115 to 113. And Judge Nermin Androvic scores it 116 to 112. Both for your winner by majority decision. And still WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World, the Point Score,
Now, I cannot lie. I was very disappointed in Hamza Shiraz's performance. That was a very hard watch. And I do understand that some guys can be hard to get up for.
At this big arena, it was a blessing. I was taking it all in.
All right, secondary question.
No Diddy.
Adrian, two quickies over here.
Even versus Crawford at the ballpark, fuck me. I mean, this table's about to jump up in a minute. That's got me really excited.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. No duty.
No diddy.
But we only ask them to come up for the show for 3 times every year. But they can come as many times as they want to. A lot of men come every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But I know if I ask a brother to come 5, 6, 7, 8 times, I'm
Oh,
losing.
God damn.
All right. Also in action, we had Richardson Hitchens taking on Ricardo Salas. And it was a damn jab fest. Richardson Hitchens put on a clinic. He won every round on all 3 judges' scorecards, 100-90 to score a unanimous 10-round decision over Ricardo Salas. Big shout out to Richardson Hitchens on his victory Saturday night. Also in action, you had Jaleel Hackett taking on Sergey Derevyanchenko. And we all know Sergey Derevyanchenko is a very tough and rough fighter. But Jaleel Hackett had his way in this contest, and he won by a unanimous decision. Now, over in the 160-pound middleweight division, 154-pound junior super welterweight division, we had Josh Kelly taking on Keeman Ajarko. And man, Josh Kelly, he looked horrible in the fight. I didn't think Josh Kelly looked like not even a contender to say he's a champion. I'm sorry. People are saying that Josh Kelly and Jerron Boots Ennis is a good fight. The hell it is. Look, Jerron Boots Ennis will get Josh Kelly out of there no later than 7 rounds, but I like to get him out of there in 5. Yeah, Josh Kelly, yeah, get back in the gym, bro. Let's see. Fights that didn't happen. Let's talk about some of the fights that didn't happen this past weekend, because Jamal Charlo was scheduled to fight on the Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu card out in Australia. But previous legal matters stopped him from being able to go to Australia and make a check. So now it's been forever and a day since we've seen Jamal Charlo in the ring. It's really a sad situation, man. And one thing I don't understand is, how in the hell can y'all sign to fight and have the fight signed in Australia, and then when it's time for those fighters to get over there, have a problem with them getting there? I feel like, those wrinkles should be ironed out in the negotiation process. You know what I mean? Like, we should already have that situated, as long as you don't get in trouble from the signing of this contract, or we check your visas before we even say this is going to be the venue for this contest. I just don't understand how those guys were stuck in L.A., and I'm talking about Jamal Charlo and Stephen Fulton. Oh, my God, Stephen Fulton. Let's talk about Stephen Fulton, Mr. Career Suicide. Stephen Fulton, what are you doing? My guy, Stephen Fulton, first of all, this fight was supposed to happen at 130 pounds with Liam Wilson. Stephen Fulton requested that fight be moved up to 133 pounds. Then, just like Jamal Charlo, Stephen Fulton had trouble getting over to Australia. He had visa issues. Well, he got those issues cleared, got over to Australia, and would you believe that Stephen Fulton missed weight by damn near 6 pounds after asking for weight at 133 pounds?
I know you fucking lying.
I ain't lying. And this is his second straight fight missing weight. He missed weight for the O'Shaquie Foster fight and still got his ass whooped. And then he goes over to Australia and missed weight. And this is the crazy part about that. His ass know he wasn't on weight. He know he wasn't close to 133 pounds. And he was blessed with the opportunity to not even, argue about going over to Australia to have a fight, because they were trying to decline him from even getting into the country. He should have ran with that. You know what I mean? Instead of wasting all these people's time and money going all the way over there, stepping on the scales, and then they hitting him with this Canelo Alvarez.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Please. Please, get the fuck out of here.
That's what they hit him with. He jumped his big ass on them scales 2 weight classes over. Come on, Stephen Fulton, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And then he interviewed with Ak and Barack, and he was laughing, you know, once he got over there. This is before the weigh-ins, not afterwards. But he still missed weight. And listen to this conversation.
Yeah, what about your discipline? You came in here eating, you know what I'm saying?
I came in here and ate
healthy chips.
The healthy chips.
Yeah, they want healthy.
Two bags.
Let me tell the story.
And they small bags.
Ain't no such thing as healthy chips. Ain't no such thing as healthy chips when you're a fighter.
I eat all day.
When you're a fighter.
Now, where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from. I didn't. Where I'm coming from.
You a foodie. I know you ate something. I know.
And I'm about to go run after I leave here.
You did say you came from the gym.
Yeah.
I think you got an eating problem.
I know I do. I love food,
because
bro.
he's always chubby. In between, he's always chubby. No, but you don't have to be.
I know that.
You don't have to be. You can go out strong.
I've been slim my whole fucking life.
Nah,
so now it's like,
always want to put weight on.
Because now it's like, yo, that's why I say you get tired of a lot of things. The more you keep buying, you get tired, bro. You be like, I want to fucking eat, bro. I've been just doing this shit. Then I'm Muslim, so I be fasting. So you tell me I gotta get ready for like at least 3 fights a year, 30 days to 60 days each fight. Then I gotta do Ramadan, bro. I want to eat. Let me eat.
For legacy.
Yeah,
for
but
that 17 million.
I mean, that
come on, brother. Whatever you say, I'm not listening to, man. You need discipline. You need discipline.
No, I know that.
Yeah, what about?
Man, that is crazy. You know, this man can't stop eating. You got money on the line. You're a professional fighter. You know what I mean? The biggest part of a boxing contract is the weight. Making weight is the biggest part of the contract. Man, you know, what are you doing, Stephen Fulton? Where is Naoya Inoue when you need him? Should have went upside his damn head after he missed weight, man. That's a shame. Other news, we are gonna go ahead and start paying tribute to Errol the True Spence. You know, and before we get into like our tribute and everything, I want to say, ever since the Bud Crawford fight back in 2023, I have been a little questionable about the way Errol Spence has been moving. And what I mean by that was, I'll take you back. Let's go back a little bit to 2023, right after Bud Crawford stopped Errol Spence. Errol Spence went ahead and activated the rematch clause. I didn't agree with that. You know what I mean? At the time, I didn't agree with Errol Spence activating his rematch clause. Well, of course, we know the rematch didn't happen. Errol Spence, they had so many days to sign a contract to get the rematch to happen. Once that rematch clause was activated, that contract was not signed. So then it was null and void. There was no rematch clause. Then, if you guys remember, Tim Tszyu was supposed to fight Keith Thurman, but Keith Thurman got hurt and Sebastian Fundora stepped in. Well, then Sebastian Fundora beat Tim Tszyu. Immediately after that fight, Errol Spence hops in the ring and basically declares that he was going to fight Sebastian Fundora next. And Sam Lukowicz, who Sebastian Fundora manager, you know, that's the route they were intending to go. But I guess Spence Hart wasn't all the way into it, thank the Lord. And he took more time off, and that was another 2 years off. I didn't agree with him, you know, fighting Fundora, but I do agree with him not fighting Fundora. So then we fast forward to the present day and time, and Errol Spence announces that he's coming off of his hiatus to take on Tim Tszyu. Now, Tim Tszyu, he suffered 2 knockout defeats to Sebastian Fundora and 1 brutal knockout to Bakram Murtazaliev. And yeah, he was what some people would consider damaged goods, even though going into the Spence fight, Tim Tszyu had fought and secured, I believe, a knockout victory. I forget who he fought, but he did get a victory before the Spence fight. But Tim Tszyu is young. He might not even touched his prime yet. And it's just a dangerous fight for Errol Spence, being the fighting style that Tim Tszyu has. Tim Tszyu is a quick starter. He comes out. He's not trying to win a decision. Tim Tszyu normally is trying to stop his opponents. I didn't like it for a comeback fight for Errol Spence, but I had to salute the warrior in Errol Spence. Now, we talked about Jamal Charlo and Stephen Fulton having visa issues. Well, Errol Spence got over to Australia just fine. But what I didn't agree with was when he got off that plane and them juju monsters with the face paint and the pipes and the smoke was blowing that crap all in his face. If y'all go back and watch and see, go look at Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields ain't want none of that. He wouldn't agree with none of that. That Ronnie Shields was mugged up. I'm talking. He was ready to fight. You know, Errol Spence was taking it all in. Now, the funny part is, if you watch the ring walk, when I'm going to show the ring walks a little bit later on, you'll see those same juju monsters out there. But anyway, yeah, I knew right then and there that it didn't look good. It just didn't feel right. Too many unanswered questions for me. You had a new trainer for Errol Spence. You're over there fighting in Australia in a new weight class. We haven't seen you in 3 years. It just was a lot of unknown and unanswered questions, which I talked about in my predictions for the Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu fight. As for predictions, I got to shout us out. This is Rounds Boxing Club. We are the home of the best boxing predictions. So if you guys like to get to the bag or want to know who's going to win the big fight, be sure to drop in and check out our predictions for the big fights over in our video section. So yeah, of course, I predicted Tim Tszyu to win this fight. But I will say that when I saw Errol Spence arrive to the arena, I was a little bit on the fence, like maybe Spence might pull this off, you know what I mean? And look how Spence arrived, you know.
Biggest one. Oh, feel like that. Let's go. Good morning.
So, you know, all throughout the fight, they're showing back in the locker room, and you see Errol Spence kind of chilling and in good spirits. And then as the fight got closer, he started to seem a little more somber, or something heavy was on him. You know what I mean? When you look at him, he almost had that glazed look in his eyes like he had before the Crawford fight. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then you see the ring walk when Spence walks out. And some people might have thought it was sweat, but I immediately knew he was back there backstage crying. Which told me I thought he was retiring, win, lose, or draw. Before the bell rung, I thought Errol Spence was going to retire if he won, if he lost, no matter what, he was retiring. That was just a confirmation, a slamming of the gavel, fighting Tim Tszyu. And that's basically what it was. Check out Errol Spence ring walk. Take a look at his demeanor. Look at him soaking it all in, looking at the crowd. Check him out. Yeah, you know, and when I saw it right there, I don't know what he was walking out to. I don't know what song that was, but that also kind of told me, I didn't feel good hearing him walk out to that song. Now, when I was watching it, I wasn't hearing that song. Just watching it, looking at it, I'm gonna tell you what I hear. I think that's Sam Cooke. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. That's what I hear watching Errol Spence make that ring walk. And look at it. This is another angle of the ring walk. It's a little bit closer. Watch this. Now, from there, bell about to ring. It's time for the fight. The fight itself, I thought Spence might have won the first round. Might have been the only round he won. I gave him maybe 2 rounds in the fight. But I thought the first 2 rounds were competitive. I thought they split the first 2 rounds. And after that, it was pretty much downhill for Errol Spence. Every round to me, it got worse and worse. And I felt like Tim Tszyu, hats off to Tim Tszyu. I felt like if he wanted to stop Errol Spence, he could have, and I think early he was trying to, but I think he felt compassion after he saw how Errol Spence declined, how that fight was just not competitive with Tim Tszyu. And Tim Tszyu know in his heart of hearts, he isn't the more skilled boxer when Errol Spence is on his A game. Tim Tszyu would have needed a knockout, in another lifetime before all the Errol Spence car accidents, before Bud Crawford beat his ass, before the layoffs. No way Tim Tszyu beats Errol Spence by decision. But the fight went on to kind of look like this.
Timmy defense, pushing backwards. He's trying to get out of there, Timmy. He's had enough. Take him out, Timmy. Work in there. Work. Yes, again, Timmy. Middle.
Now that was a hell of a left hook to the body that Errol Spence threw, but you see Tim Tszyu laying leather on Errol Spence the whole time. That was the only good shot landed in that sequence that we just watched, and the fight went on to go to a decision, and the decision went like this.
110. Judges Carlos Costa and Yordenis Ugas both scored about 117 to 111. All three in favor of the winner, the Phoenix.
So big shout out to Tim Tszyu for his victory over Errol Spence and for I guess carrying him, through the fight. That I wouldn't have wanted to see Errol Spence get laid out, knocked out cold, or suffer any more damage than he has already taken in his career. Errol Spence went on to speak with the announcers in the post-fight, and that's when we found out his plan.
Too, I appreciate everybody for coming out. It was a good showing by Tim. I answered a lot of questions for myself. Now it's time to go home with my family and start a new life.
And see, that's the good thing that I did like about the culmination of Errol Spence's career, even though it ended with, a losing effort. Most fighters do end with a losing effort. Not too many fighters go out on a high horse. But he got the confirmation he was looking for. It was a lot of unanswered questions. Listen, Spence didn't want to go out on his first defeat, and it's like, the first time I lose, I just run and hide and never come back. That's not a good look. Especially, this day and age where everybody looks at that, so importantly. And when a fighter isn't undefeated, then we throw him away. So Spence, I'm glad he came back and showed that boxing isn't just about having an undefeated record. Sometimes you have a point to prove to yourself or to your family, and one thing about Errol Spence, and we'll get into that man didn't duck no smoke. He fought everybody. If you think he ducked Crawford, I don't think he was ducking Crawford. I think Spence would have fought Crawford at any time. Maybe the promoters didn't want that fight at the time. That's what I feel. You know what I mean? And Spence went on to elaborate a little bit more in his post-fight press conference.
I asked a lot of questions tonight for myself personally, and going 12 rounds and realizing how long that 12 rounds was. It's time to hang them up because that 12 rounds isn't that long, but it was a long 12 rounds tonight, so it's time to to hang them up.
Indeed. And before the fight actually took place, I predicted Tim Tszyu to beat Errol Spence. But in my heart of hearts, I wanted Errol Spence to win because I was looking forward to maybe getting Errol Spence versus Jermell Charlo out in Texas. I thought that would have been a really big fight. But after sending Errol Spence in that ring against Tim Tszyu, nah, that's it, man. Hang the gloves up. You don't need another training camp, another sparring. You don't need to fight Jermell Charlo. You don't need to fight anybody, man. Go enjoy your life. Enjoy your money. Big shout out to Errol Spence, man. What a warrior, man. His last 10 fights, man, he fought some names, man. Lamont Roach, Kell Brook, Danny Garcia, Shawn Porter, Yordenis Ugas, Terence Crawford, Tim Tszyu. Who else we had on that list? Mikey Garcia. Man, Errol Spence put in some work, and he did what fighters are supposed to do. What we expect from fighters as fans, Errol Spence gave that to us, and he's going to be truly missed, in the boxing community. And so right now what I'm going to do is kind of go back and play some of my favorite moments from Errol Spence throughout his career.
Get your head back. You can't get in my car. Oh, yeah, that way. Yeah. Oh, he's that nigga. Oh, he's Birds won't quit losing. Nah, ain't no stopping, EJ. Ain't no snuck you, EJ. He snuck him, he snuck you. Yeah, he snuck you, EJ. Yeah. Yeah, he snuck you, E. It's a lot.
That's 147. That's 147. I do the face off. You gotta do the face off. What's wrong with him, bro? You gotta do the face off. I'll beat you. I'll be back.
It's Texas over here. Ain't nobody, it's everything big in Texas. Even Texas.
Who you got next?
We got Big Texas.
Who y'all got next? Who y'all got next?
I don't want to smoke. I fight Shawn.
Shawn?
No, Mikey Garcia.
Why you name dropping? Who else? Who else?
I want to fight Mikey.
Who else? Mikey. What else, Mikey?
But then Mikey got to fight Shawn.
If I say who I really want, y'all ain't gonna believe me.
True, you don't want to fight.
He don't want to fight, so I'm gonna come out though.
I guarantee I'll retire for you.
One time.
Yeah, I started fighting when I was 15 years old. I was born in 1990. 2015, I was 15 years old. He beat me in 2007. Okay.
And
you know what
then
I'm saying?
video YouTube when you were an amateur stopping a poor dude in the body like
I was stopping everybody. I was a monster.
Very mean.
But shout out to him. Man, this old bum ass nigga put his ass in the dirt.
Now, see that one there, I don't know if y'all remember, Blair Cobb was talking a lot of shit to all the welterweights, especially Errol Spence, And then he went on to get his butt knocked out by Alexis Rocha. And Spence, that's when Spence was somewhere on social media hollering, put him in the dirt, put him in the dirt. So that influenced me at the time to make this voiceover of Spence's bolo punch.
Man, y'all check out Spence hit Buddy with a bolo punch. Boom. Watch the wind up. Bow! Oh my goodness. Put his ass in the dirt.
If Errol fight him today, next week, next month, Errol would knock him out.
How good is Terence Crawford?
Terence Crawford is good, but he's not what people make him the same. He's not pound for pound.
Boy, that aged like spoiled milk.
What you talking about? I knew he was gonna be here.
And you knew I was gonna pull up.
That's why I came.
Did you know I was gonna pull up?
Oh God, I knew he was gonna be here.
Did you know I was gonna pull up?
Hey, where you at?
Did you know
I
I
got a
was
text
gonna pull up?
message nigga, from 3 o'clock.
And you got a FaceTime for me and you didn't answer.
I don't know your number. What talking about? You got my number.
But now you can save it.
We go neutral.
We can go there. Vegas or New York.
Then when I stop, they gonna say he too small.
Hey, so when I stop him, y'all gonna say he was too weak.
On my mic.
And he stayed at 147.
He would not
Too
stop.
long.
He would not stop.
Okay.
You crazy. What you smoking on? Ask me, who the hardest been hit by?
Hey, look, every person that you name, ask them what I done did to them.
Ask me who the hardest been hit by.
It don't matter. If you drop them and I drop them, what that mean? They both got.
Tell me, Frank, in regards to preparing for this moment, fighting here in Las Vegas, being the main event.
He don't like none of them, he getting the track.
Shut your ass up. Talk way too much, bro. Talk way too much. Yeah. You backing up with who? Who you backing up with? Yeah, you hear it, but you don't fight nobody, bro. You don't fight nobody.
You here for a check, brother.
Fight for
check. You here for a check.
You here for a check. You got me fucked up.
So
you here for a check.
Errol, what have you been telling Frank in preparation for this?
Yeah, man. So that was some of my favorite Errol Spence moments right there. And so right now what I want to do is pose the question of the day. All right. So the question of the day is, in those clips you saw Errol Spence with a lot of those early PBC fighters. You had Tank Davis, Jamel and Jamal Charlo. You had your boy Robert Easter up there. You also had Adrian Broner. So this question is about Errol Spence and Adrian Broner. If you could only pick one to make the Hall of Fame, who would it be? Would it be Errol the Truth Spence or Adrian the Problem Broner? Now I'll give you a quick resume glimpse of both fighters. Errol Spence, he's only won titles in the 147-pound division. He's a 3-time welterweight champion, finished with a record of 28-2 with 22 big wins coming by knockout. Now, Adrian the Problem Broner finished with a record of 35-5 with 1 draw with 24 knockouts, and he is a 4-division champion. Not only is Adrian Broner a 4-division champion, but he is the youngest person ever to accomplish this feat of being a 4-division champion. So who is more deserving? Now, there is no wrong answer because I think both Errol Spence and Adrian Broner both deserve to be in the Boxing Hall of Fame. But who do you think is more deserving if you had to pick one to make the Hall of Fame? Is it Errol the True Spence or Adrian the Problem Broner? So, drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. I did put this poll up earlier in the week on our channel. And after 2 days of that poll being up, 84% of our subscribers felt that Errol Spence is more Hall of Fame worthy than Adrian Broner. Like I said, there is no wrong answer. So 16% of our subscribers said Adrian Broner is more deserving of the Hall of Fame, and 84% of our subscribers said Errol Spence. Me personally, if I had to pick, damn, it's hard, man. It's what and what. But I'm sorry, man. I can't name one 4-division champion that isn't in the Hall of Fame. So I kind of got to go with Broner. 4 divisions. That's crazy. And then to be the youngest to do so. But at the same time, I feel like Errol Spence has more quality victories on his resume than Adrian Broner. I don't know, man. It's what and what. If anybody's a first ballot, it'd be Errol Spence. I feel like, with Broner's out of the ring antics, which shouldn't matter, but it does when it comes to, things of this nature, I don't think Broner will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, yeah, that was our question of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So, be sure, if you're still watching or when you're watching right now, hit the like button.
Looking for you, that's what I like. That's what I like.
All right. So, other boxing news going on. Caroline Dubois has parted with her longtime manager. And she has an upcoming fight coming up August 29th, a showdown with Amelia Moore. And she parted ways with her longtime trainer, Shane McGuigan. Caroline Dubois and Shane McGuigan teamed up in 2021, 1 year before Dubois' professional debut. Together, Dubois has put together a very impressive resume of 13-0 with 1 draw and 5 knockouts. But, that's just the game sometimes. Sometimes that relationship with the trainer and the fighter runs its course. Now, Caroline Dubois, she is now being trained by Manny Roble. And, Manny Roble, he trains Andy Ruiz. He also trains Oscar Valdez. And he trains Brandon Figueroa. Big shout out Brandon Figueroa. Me and my wife actually sat next to Brandon Figueroa's family. We went to the Yordenis Ugas versus Mike Dallas fight card out in Biloxi. And I believe Brandon Figueroa fought on that undercard. And we sat right next to his mom, dad, and his family, and we had a good time, man. That was a good time, and Figueroa did get the win that night. So big shout out to him. Let's see, other boxing news. Zab Judah. Congratulations are in order to Zab Super Judah on making the Boxing Hall of Fame. Big shout out to Zab Judah. Another fighter changing trainers for their upcoming bout is Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz has changed over and is now being trained by Eddie Reynoso. So he is joining the Canelo camp. So the Reynoso camp, Canelo camp, Isaac Cruz is now there, and he's fighting again September 19th at 140 pounds against an unranked Nestor Bravo. But Nestor Bravo got a decent record. This man is 24-0 with 17 knockouts. That's big news right there. And the other big news of the day, Top Rank won the purse bid for the Devin Haney versus Keyshawn Davis bout. And it's funny as hell because, you know, they were trying to make that fight without going to a purse bid. And Keyshawn Davis pushed back and he was offered $3 million. Well, in the purse bid was sold for, I think, like $8.2 or $3 million or 8.8, something like that. But $8 million basically. That's what that fight was sold for. Devin Haney, he's gonna get 75% of that purse, and Keyshawn Davis gets 25%. 25% of that $8 million is like 2 point something, like 2.2 million. So essentially, Keyshawn Davis talked himself out of damn near $1 million. So I don't think we're going to see this fight happen. He could have got more money before the purse bid. And I don't think a lot of promotional companies bid on the fight, which is crazy because Top Rank even still got the fight. And it worked out in Top Rank's favor because they didn't bid up as much. They only have to pay $8 million to get that fight, and that's going to be a big fight. It's going to sell out if it does happen. We're going to see if the businessman is about business. That's what I want to see. I ain't kidding, man. Keyshawn Davis, he talks a lot. He talks a lot, and I'm ready to see him back it up, man. Then you got some people saying, that Keyshawn Davis shouldn't take 25%. Well, why shouldn't he? Keyshawn Davis ain't the damn. We at 147 pounds. Keyshawn Davis hasn't won a belt at 140 or a belt at 147. Devin Haney is the WBC champion at 140 pounds. So, yeah, he should take that fight. Plus, you was doing all that riff-raffing, like you looking for him, and Devin scared of you. Y'all remember Keyshawn Davis was...
Man, where the hell Debo at? Talk all that shit, man. Where Devin? Where Debo at? So-called Debo. Where Devin at? Where Debo? You ain't see him? He hiding from me. They got hot man. Debo! Hey, Debo! Where the hell you at, man? What you doing? Hey, where is Debo? We looking for you. We on the block. Man, y'all gotta remember, man. Debo got hit with a brick. Y'all already know how I'm coming. Yeah. Debo, where you at? He's scared of this brick.
Nah. After doing all that woofing, you got to take the fight, man. Look, nobody want to hear. It's nothing Keyshawn Davis can say. You got to sign this contract. You did all that for social media, all that for Twitter, all that yapping, man. All that yapping. Look, it's time to fight. Now, this is what we want to see. We don't want to see the yapping. We want to see the scrapping. That's what we come to see, Keyshawn Davis. So he got like 2 days to sign a contract. We'll know something by next week if he ducking, if he's shucking and driving. And I don't believe he's gonna sign the contract. You know. So we'll see if he signs that contract. Floyd Mayweather was at Fanatics. I don't know if you guys saw Floyd Mayweather at Fanatics. And I got a little bit of that footage of my boy Floyd at Fanatics. Check him out. Right. And speaking of Floyd Mayweather, you know how we get down here at Rounds Boxing Club on the 13th round. It's time to put the boom bap back in the trap. Floyd, let him have it.
These hating ass niggas can't fuck with me. It's like 4 to the 5, 5 to the 6. Hating ass niggas all in my mix. It's like 6 to the 7, 7 to the 8. The 38 specialist set these niggas straight. It's like 8 to the 9, 9 to the 10. This a freestyle, I ain't use no pen. We getting money, yep. We hustling, yep. We got them guns, yep. We buy the bar, yep. We got them cars, yep. We poppin' tags, yep. We ballin', yep. I said we ballin', yep. We getting money, yep. We hustling, yep. We got them guns, yep. We buy the bar, yep. We got them cars, yep. We poppin' tags, yep. We ballin', yep. I said we ballin', yep. It's like King Dong, I'm like King Kong. I play bitch niggas like King Kong. Got a lot of cheddar, young Mayweather. Got my shit straight, get your shit together. Real cocky, real flashy. You in the wrong lane, you can't pass it. They see the cars, they see the chips, they see the hoes, they on my dick. I make it storm, I make it rain.
Yeah, that joker be jamming. I don't care what nobody say. Listen, Floyd Mayweather kind of did his thing on that track, man. Look, so I was talking earlier about all the traveling I was doing, and I didn't get the chance to tell you guys, but I had the opportunity to attend the World Cup in Kansas City, Missouri. And, man, we had a hell of a time, man. And I got a little footage for y'all to check out from the World Cup. While I was there, I had wonderful seats, sat front row. I was there for the Austria versus Algeria game. Check this out. We in the club hollering, hey baby, hey baby, hey baby. Y'all remember that joint? Hey, so then I'm just showing you. So everything had order at the World Cup, like the teams, everything was just order, man. It was so many people, but just the crowd, the way they did things, man. It was just a little different, man. And I really thoroughly enjoyed myself. Check out these referees swagging. They had a pregame performance.
Man, check the referees out. Referee swagging, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, so we had a beautiful summer attending the World Cup. I was doing a lot of traveling, but I'm back home, ready for football season. You know, it's on, baby. Got my Meta glasses this year. I should have all kind of crazy footage, man. I be at a lot of sporting events, if you guys know. You know. But also, before we get up out of here, man, let's talk about this weekend's upcoming fight. Big fight between William Zepeda and Lamont Roach. Man, this is gonna be a great fight. It's very even. I have not dropped my predictions. Actually, when I get off this live stream, I'm actually getting ready to set up and drop my prediction for the bout between William Zepeda and Lamont Roach. So yeah, you guys be on the lookout for that. Should be available for you guys tomorrow. We are getting to the bag here at Rounds Boxing Club. Career predictions, we are over an 80% clip. We are 129-25. We will be dropping a few predictions for this weekend's fights. And right now, what we're going to do here at Rounds Boxing Club is shout out a few of our subscribers. Big shout out to Mr. Theo. Shout out Malcolm Xbox. Shout out to the Gadfly Gang. Shout out AB Live 4. What's up, Holmes Smith? Son of Apollo, I see you there, boy. Cameron Stewart's in the building. Big shout out to Dane Christensen. And shout outs in order to Lenny Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Coach Rounds, and this is the 13th round. You know the drill. As always, like, subscribe, protect yourself at all times. We out. Peace.